Hello, everybody. Listening to the Fair Weather Podcast. It's your boy 2K Suave. I'm here with Mr. Alex Rodriguez. We join you here live from Tampa, Florida. What's going on, bro?
Not much, man. Just living the bing bong way when it comes and goes. So
this man is celebrating the game-winning shot that happened last week.
Hey, man, we didn't.
Mind you, it was pretty damn lucky, but it was nice.
Lucky. It was skill. Let the man be. Don't be shitting on my favorite Nick.
Y'all ran it back on like Saturday, right? You in Boston?
I think we have the better record again. I think we're 3 out of 4 against them.
But y'all ran it back this past weekend. Am I correct?
We lost. Oh well, but
okay,
we beat the first game of the season. First game of the season, we spanked that ass.
Just checking. I mean, last time I checked, according to these standings, you guys are not even in the playoffs right now. So
there's a lot more basketball to play. Can I be happy about my team?
My bad. Listen.
I'll let you talk about your team. I know you get to play the Bucks in Tampa. I know you're gonna go out real quick, and I'm gonna have to check on you. Everybody, make sure you text my boy. Make sure he's okay.
Let me explain. So as soon as the game got announced, I said to every Buck fan, I'm going to just straight asshole mode for the next week. It's not even like I'm trying to be mean to you. I feel bad. You know, I'm not trying to make fun of the Knicks, but everybody is an op to me right now because I don't trust nobody because everybody wants to see me fail. I'm ready to knock off Tom Brady this weekend, but tall task. But we saw what Taylor Heineke did to him last year. Just saying.
It's the same look. Yeah,
almost got him.
It could. I think this is a better constructed team too than what Heineke has. So
don't tell nobody. People. I want people to keep doubting. I want to build up the underdog facade and the aura. So when we do pull this off, you know, it's gonna be a beautiful day on Sunday. Trust me.
I like it. All right, so let's jump into episode 51, season 3. Season 3 now we're on.
Trace.
So we'll start off. Trace.
Allen Iverson.
All right. So NFL 18-week recap. We'll do that. So we'll talk about that. We'll give the winner of the pick'ems from there. Unless you want to keep going in the playoffs, but I think we just end it now.
Nah, bro. It's a regular season thing. I'm taking my trophy.
All right, exactly. Well, spoiler alert. We'll break down the national championship game. Then we'll preview the wild card games that are going to be played for the playoff games for the wild card round. We'll talk about Black Monday and all the head coaches that were fired. We'll run through that list. I mean, who could be on the hot seat next? Some big names that are available for head coaching jobs. Then we'll go to NBA talk. We'll give you a midseason report. Klay is back. We'll talk about the Lakers struggles and Russell Westbrook around that.
Dame's out 6 to 8 weeks.
Yeah, that just happened now. We'll talk about the net struggles with Kyrie being the focal point there.
John Morant, baby.
John Morant's doing John Morant things. And then our biggest surprises and disappointments for the NBA season. And then for our fun segment, we're going to do a start, bench, cut. And we're going to have 4 categories, 3 basketball and 1 fun one at the very end. So let's start off with the pick'ems that we did. KK will be the winner of the two of us for this. He got 41 out of 72 and I got 39 out of 72. Now, if I would have picked the 49ers and I would have picked, I think everything we got was pretty good. So we did Dallas and Philly. We both picked Dallas. So we got one there. I went against the grain. I said Pitt. I got that right against Baltimore. Indy and Jacksonville, still riding that wave. I got that one right. San Fran, if I would have picked them, we both were on the teeter on that too, that they're playing in for a spot.
You know, yeah, that game meant way too much to San Francisco compared to the Rams.
Yeah. So we both got 0 there. Chargers in Vegas, we both picked Vegas, so we got that right. And then the national championship, we both picked Bama. So
and I told you made me not pick against Nick Saban, but I'm like, bro, on paper, that Georgia team is dynamic. That's a fucking, excuse my French, that is an amazing defense. I'm trying to do better in 2022 in my language. That's all.
Stop, be quiet. You barely care. You're a saint. I mean, it was pivotal that Williams tore his ACL during the game too. So your star-studded first-round pick wide receiver goes out. That's unfortunate. That's
And
like the
Mechie
second.
went out in the championship game too.
Huh?
Mechie went out in the SEC championship. So your top two
Yeah. So
receivers are out.
your top two receivers go out, and it's just like last year though with them. Devontae Smith and Waddle were both out of the national
But
championship.
Devontae Smith had like 200 and plus yards already by the time he went out.
Yeah, exactly. So KK is the winner there. I guess that's a good transition that we can just go into the breaking down the national championship game. All I can say is Alabama is like still a good program. I don't care if you want to write them off or say like, oh, this is the end for them. I can honestly say like looking at Alabama recruiting this year and looking at the team they put on the field outside of the quarterback, I really wasn't impressed with a lot of their recruiting this year. There was nobody that really like caught my eye or like, oh my God, they got a stud running back. They got a stud wide receiver.
Running back is straight.
Huh?
The running back is straight for Alabama.
Yeah, he's been there for like 5 years now. He's been behind everybody, and they finally gave him his chance. He's a one and gone though.
But that's how it works at Alabama. You're gonna work your way through the system if you decide to stay.
Yes and no, depends on who. But
no, keep in mind Alvin Kamara was there, and he was like, "Nah, bro." He transferred, and we were talking about Alvin Kamara.
Yeah,
like that. They're a factory. Like they're all five.
All I'm saying
stars.
is that Alabama knows how to recruit. This just wasn't their year in recruiting, is what I'm saying. Like I feel like the team they put out this year, it was good. But I'm not saying like it was like anything that was a head turner for me that they put out there. They're just that good of a program that they're NFL ready and they're able to, keep up with the ranks of anybody. But the Georgia defense just showed that they're the Georgia defense for a reason.
Yeah. You know me, I'm all about my receipts and my, I want people to see that I've been talking about this since forever. I said it back in September. I told you in September, you told me don't ever bet against Nick Saban, which I agree with. That is Nick Saban, Tom Brady. Yeah, short list. Nick Saban, Bill Belichick, and Tom Brady are three people that I've learned to kind of just leave alone. Like it's hard to bet against those three players, those two coaches and player. But that defense that they put on the field, I saw them back in September. I think they played Vanderbilt. And they held them to like 40 yards. I'm like, this is another SEC school. And then it was like this every week where they were just running through teams. And then they obviously, got Alabama because Alabama was more desperate to win that SEC championship game than Georgia. So I had a feeling Bama would probably win that game because Georgia's number one already. They had nothing to really play for it because they're not going to drop them from 1 to 5 if they would have lost that game, which they did. But I knew, all things considered, a month to prepare. I know Michigan, they probably looked past Michigan. That's my school, but they definitely looked past us and like whatever. And because they already knew they were going to get Alabama at the end, and I think they prepared very well for them. I think Bryce Young did a pretty good job kind of driving the team. But when you play a team like Georgia, you got to score touchdowns, and all those field goals and field goals and field goals and field goals. I'm like, eventually this is going to bite them in the ass because Alabama dominated Georgia in the first half, in my opinion. But they couldn't convert. It was all field goal. And then by the time that second half comes in, the nerves are worn down, and the defense gets a little halftime talk. The boys are about to tee off on them, man. They were able to pick the ball off. They're able to, do what they got to do and Stetson, and what's his name? Stetson Bennett, for somebody who's, I think he was a walk-on or whatever, he played his ass off. I mean, he played his ass off. Obviously, I wish, Jameson Williams didn't get hurt for Alabama. It probably would have been a little bit more competitive because you can see Bryce Young, he's losing his best friends. Like, all right, who can I rely on now? And when you lose two of your best receivers in a matter of a month, that's a lot to deal with when you're dealing with the defense, who I compare it to like the 85 Bears or the 2000 Ravens or something like that. So,
yeah,
Georgia did what they're supposed to do. They got a bunch of first and second round picks on the team. I mean, what can you do with that?
Yeah, I mean Alabama does too, but at the same time, it's like you said, if your two targets that you find most on the field aren't there, it's going to be a different ball game. And it's like, yeah, you practice with the other guys in practice, but we know the game plan. The big name players are going to these guys. They know how to get open. They know how to get separation. They know how to run their routes. They're very good at catching the ball. There was a lot of guys out there for Alabama that looked very, very foreign out there. And yeah, they're they're product of Alabama, but they're also kind of new to stepping into this role right there and then.
Yeah, big shoes to fill.
Yeah. The kid from Valrico, Florida, he made like 2 big catches, Hall.
I think it was 84. I think that was his number. Hold on. I know you're talking about, yeah.
But regardless, like I know he had a lot of passes thrown his way that he couldn't catch either because he couldn't find separation. Yeah. And that's something that coaching will fix later on. And the other guy, the tight end,
Latu.
Yeah, he dropped
the ball. Well. He 5 catches, 102 yards.
Yeah, but he also dropped like 1 touchdown in the end, and he caught 1 later on.
Yeah.
That's pivotal. That's when you said they couldn't score in the first half. That was an easy score that he dropped.
That's true.
That was easy, and I feel like what was Robinson's stats? Did he have 100 yards on the ground or no?
No, he had 22 carries for 68 yards, only 3.1 yards a carry.
Yeah.
But like he had 4 catches for 28 yards, so total about 90 yards.
Yeah. So the Georgia front is good. We all know that.
Great. No. Great.
Great.
They got that big boy, number 99. You can't block him one-on-one.
Jordan.
Yeah, like what can you do with that? Like you can't scheme for that in practice. You can't even you can't practice something that you don't like. He's the biggest dude I've ever seen. He looked like Calais Campbell out there. Humongous.
Yeah, but like you gotta, I don't know. I feel like when they were down in the red zone, they could have easily get Mitch Robinson, had like some pitch plays for him or something, but they didn't get creative down there. They just trying to do slant passes and try and be cute, and like we all know the Georgia defense is good. You're gonna have to be creative, and if anything, Nick Saban is he's very creative. And I don't know, Bill O'Brien's just boring to me.
I think Steve Sarkisian would have probably done a better job in that situation. I think he's a little bit more creative with that kind of stuff. So again, Georgia, it's not like they lost to a scrub team. They lost to me, who I thought all year long was the best team in the country with Georgia. So, it sucks if you cheer for Alabama. But I remember when the game started, and especially when Jameson went out, I was like, man, if Nick Saban finds a way to win this game, this might be his best coaching job. Because that's why going into the SEC championship game, Georgia was 6-point favorites. Going into this game, Georgia was a 3-point favorite. No matter what, Georgia has been favored. Both, like Vegas knows. Vegas knows what the hell they're talking about. And Georgia was favored at both games. On paper, Georgia is just that team on paper is way better than Alabama. And the only thing that Alabama had that Georgia didn't have was Bryce Young. And to Stetson Bennett's credit, I mean, he matched him. He matched him. He did what he had to do, and if you can match Bryce Young, then you're gonna be straight.
Yeah, he didn't have to show out, do anything. Just play at the same potential and let the defense do what the defense does.
And they ran the ball really well, especially in that fourth quarter when they needed to put the game away. I mean, they ran the ball really well, so you got to give them credit.
Yeah, they have a good combo running back there, just like when they had Chubb and Michelle. It was a good combination there as well. You got the fire or the thunder and lightning again. Yeah. But overall, I thought like the first half was very boring because it was just a game of field goal.
I loved it.
I liked it because I honestly love defense, so I love seeing the defensive presence there. I mean, just for like an overall view, I'm pretty sure people are like, "Oh, this is a very boring."
The people I was watching it with, because I went to what's that place called on West Shore, Green Iguana. I went to Green Iguana for that. I know for that first half. And I was like, man, y'all must have thought that Rams and Patriots game was boring. Remember that Super Bowl?
Yeah.
I was like, man, this is exciting. This is a chess match between, Bill Belichick, the old Jedi master, and this young Sean McVay, and the defense is doing what they got. I love that. So, to me, that's what that first half looked like. But it's college. It's very wide open. People are going to move and score at some point. So. Georgia, I mean, you got to give Georgia credit, man. They did their thing. So
they did. The goal was beat Alabama. That should be every team's goal every year.
Especially if you're a disciple of Nick Saban. You know how nobody could beat Bill Belichick except for Brian Flores, where we're going to get to. No one can beat Belichick. None of your.
Vrabel beat him too.
Yeah, but like Brian Flores is 4-2 against him.
I know.
Beat him twice in the same year.
Yeah, beating your predecessor is definitely a big thing.
And Kirby in the past has been trashing against Nick Saban. So for Kirby to get this monkey off his back, I'm pretty sure he told him in that locker room, look, man, I'm not losing to this mofo again. I'm like, y'all need to step this shit up now. So they did what they had to do. So, to beat Nick Saban in this with these stakes on the line, it's worth it. It capped off a really good football weekend if you think about it. Because NFL was crazy during the weekend, but Monday was like a good, all right, let's send this bitch home and good football for the weekend.
It was definitely entertaining. So who do you got as number one next year starting out?
It's gonna be Georgia, though.
Georgia, you think?
They don't lose players, but they deserve to start off number one still. But you know what? Next year is gonna be crazy because Texas A&M as of right now has the number one recruiting class. Texas A&M beat Alabama last year, and it is Jimbo Fisher. I think Texas A&M is going to be crazy next year. Alabama's obviously going to be there. Bryce Young's going to be a year older. Will Anderson will still be there on defense. Georgia, I think Georgia will start off number one next year, but I don't think Georgia's going to be nowhere near their defense. This defense, that's all NFL guys right now, like Nicole Dean and 17, number 4, number 99, number 41. Like these are they all going to the NFL.
There's some big boys on that team.
They stout. They stout. But I think it's gonna be interesting. I mean, college football. We're gonna do an episode. A-Rod, we're gonna figure this out. We have to have like the landscape of the NCAA. We're gonna get to this, guys, because there's so much going on with NIL and just so much going on that I kind of want to we want to tap into. So when it starts to slow down in the professional sports world, we're gonna get to it. But as of right now, SEC gonna run it again next year. If that's the answer to the question.
Ain't no one fucking with the SEC for a while, man.
That's it. Yeah. Hopefully USC makes a comeback.
Yeah, I want to see that person because I've always been a USC fan. So
because I was thinking about it, it's like, how we have this East Coast bias, like we always watch East Coast because the West Coast games come on at 10:30, 11 o'clock. And like, we talk about, you and me, we talk about Kayvon Thibodeau all year. How many Kayvon Thibodeau games have you watched this year?
One.
I watched one. Like, I don't. And then I was looking at like mock drafts and stuff, and we're looking at Drake London from USC as a wide receiver. I'm like, bro, I never even heard of him until like a couple weeks ago. Like, it's, I want to get back into making the Pac-12, the Mountain West. It's making it fun again. And I think Lincoln Riley going to USC is gonna be fantastic for the sport because, I'm losing like Oregon. They've been good for a while. UCLA started to make a comeback. USC is obviously going to make that comeback now. I think they're going to get Caleb Williams from Oklahoma. I want that West Coast to kind of just come back and just be more exciting to watch again. So hopefully we get that. That's probably my resolution for college football for next year. Well, for this year is, bring back the West Coast of football because there's a lot of talent in California.
There is, and it gets taken all over the.
Bro, Bryce Young, California.
Yeah, except it goes all over the place. So whatever program is hot in the pack, that's where those California kids are going to go.
It's got to be USC, bro. It's Lincoln Riley, though.
So now that Lincoln Riley's there, we'll see what's up there. But let's go into the wild card round. Let's preview that now. So week 18 is done. The tie almost happened. Who'd have thought if the tie did happen? That
bro, crazy. We had this conversation and it was happening all week. And I was like, bro, if this happens, like this is not real. Like this has to be a virtual reality that we're living in because like this doesn't make any sense. But Brandon Staley want to go call timeout and ruin the damn weekend. Like, yeah. I don't want to make the playoffs. That was basically what he said in that timeout. Like, guys, I don't want to make the playoffs.
No sense. So rewarded, the Raiders went on. So
what do you think was worse? What do you think was worse though? Just based off that game, really quick. Him going for it on 4th and 2 on his own 18-yard line, or calling timeout at the end of the game, knowing that the other team is kind of slowed down. Like they're not even in any. There was no urgency. It was clear the fix was in, He's like, nah, bro, I gotta call timeout. What was worse, the fourth down on their own in their own, or
The timeout. The timeout was definitely worse. Man. It has to be like that. That alone is gonna make my next segment going down the list when we get there. So
yeah.
So let's break down the previews going forward in the walk around. Let's start with the NFC first. We got the first game is going to be.
Well, before we do that, there's a couple good games that happened this weekend. I just wanted to get your take on a couple of them. The Jags and the Colts game. I wanted that game. We talked about it too last week. Like now it's 7 straight that the Colts have gone to Jacksonville, can't beat them.
It was 2013.
Bruh, what? Now, me as an Eagles fan, you know, I see my boy Jalen Hurts in the playoffs and Carson Wentz sitting on the couch. And all these years, I'm like, damn, I wanted to be on Carson Wentz's side. You know, I'm trying to ride for my dog, but that I can't. What did you make of that?
What I took from that is Carson Wentz is Baker Mayfield minus the commercials. That's what he is.
Yeah,
that is basically what Carson Wentz is. Like you say it all the time, and I always want to pick him up in fantasy, but he just needs to stay there.
You almost wanted him this past week too. I said, no, we're gonna get Derek Carr.
Exactly. We had to pick teams for someone to play with, and when I saw that stat about the Jaguars, I was like, that's gonna keep going because there's something gonna happen. And even the Lions fucking won. Like, but I just feel like when it's the big game and the lights are on him, like when it matters.
Yeah.
He chokes. He can't produce there. So,
I mean, Nick Foles won us a Super Bowl, not Carson Wentz.
No,
I don't really think Carson Wentz would have been able to win us that Super Bowl, to be honest with you. I think he would have head to head with Tom Brady. That's deer in headlights. Nick Foles look cool, comfortable, and collected out there. So
I mean, granted, it was also it was definitely an MVP season for him starting off.
Of course.
And then you got Nick Foles coming in, who's like father time. You haven't seen him in a while, but he's still a good quarterback at that time. They just too many young guys in the league. You're not going to start. This is how you're going to play. And when they call your name, you go up and you play. So
what to you do you think is the biggest attribute to have as a quarterback?
The biggest attribute to have, is reading the field. I would say it would be the biggest attribute for me, and rapport with your players.
For me, it's two things: confidence and just calm under pressure. Because at the end of the day, you're in the NFL. If you made it this far in your life, like you know how hard it is to get into the NFL, let alone playing quarterback. If you made it this far in your life as a quarterback to the NFL, like you obviously have the skill. Like it's not like he doesn't have the skill. Carson Wentz has the talent. He can read. Listen. I've seen it. I've seen it when he was on the MVP track back in when we had him in Philly. I saw it at North Dakota State. I saw a glimpse of it this year. But so the talent and the skill is there, right? But in the biggest moments, you can't continue to be this timid and scared. Like it's Jacksonville. Like I know Jacksonville has a couple impressive victories this year. Don't get me wrong, but week 18, when all the marbles are like you have everything to play for, and they have absolutely nothing to play for but spoiler. Like they're waiting for Kayvon Thibodeau or Aiden Hutchinson or one of these guys to come from the draft, and you are worrying about a playoff spot. And it's not the fact that they lost; it was how embarrassing it looked. Like they looked like a Pop Warner team playing against an NFL team. It just didn't make any sense, and that falls. I mean, you know, people want to say that might fall on the coach. But the quarterback is running the whole ship. Like he's running it. So, I mean, I saw and how
I've been telling you all year though about the NFL, bro. Any given Sunday, something's gonna happen, and this is just proving my point that
this is bigger. That to me is bigger than any given Sunday.
Bro, they beat the Buffalo Bills. I know we rag on Josh Allen, but the Buffalo Bills won their division, and they had steam going into the playoffs.
Yeah, like, but Buffalo's too inconsistent for me. Like they're due to get their ass beat by.
It doesn't matter. The Colts are 9-18. They didn't make it. Like they got a definite better record.
Yeah, I mean, I agree.
It's any given Sunday, but I'm with you on the confidence and calmness. Like you have to be confident out there And if you look at it, like a lot of the best quarterbacks out there, they're very, very calm.
Think about it.
The best quarterback until like this year, and then like maybe when he had Randy Moss, was always a very boring quarterback to watch. He wasn't throwing those 70-yard touchdown passes like now. He didn't have a young receiving core. He was
He still doesn't have that kind of arm. He's just efficient, very efficient. But he's throwing to Cyril Grayson in a clutch moment to win the game. Like that's different. But how I knew Carson Wentz wasn't is that when we drafted Jalen Hurts, he couldn't handle it. Aaron Rodgers, yeah, he threw a pissy fit, but when they drafted Jordan Love, he's about to win back-to-back MVPs. He was pissed off back-to-back MVPs.
What the difference between those two is one, experience, two, championship like caliber player, and three, the same thing happened to Rodgers. Rodgers got thrown behind Brett Favre and learned how to do that. So Carson Wentz he's just not the same. He's just not like, he's a good player, but number 2 overall, I wouldn't say all that.
But Jared Goff, who's better, Jared Goff or Carson Wentz?
I would say Jared Goff. Jared Goff's been to the fucking Super Bowl.
So are the Eagles.
Not Carson Wentz though.
But he got us in position to get there.
Doesn't matter. I don't care.
Hey, hardware. He got the ring.
Jared Goff. He got
the hardware.
He got it holding the clipboard like that. Yeah, exactly. But hey, you're right there. I don't know. They're both just like, I think they're both good quarterbacks. I think they could be better if they have better like offense tailored to them. I think if Carson Wentz had better receivers outside of Michael Pittman, I think he'd be fine. The O-line is stout, but also I don't know. I'm just rambling at this point because he doesn't have the chill factor. The chill factor isn't for him. But we're sitting talking about Carson Wentz this entire time. So let's go on the next games. Come on.
All right. Next one I have for you. 49ers and Rams.
Hey, we said it. It's a hard one to call because the Rams play for 2 and the 49ers play in for a spot. So we thought
the 49ers have owned the Rams lately. I don't know what juju that what's his name, Shanahan has over McVay. But like these, they're both 2 young coaches. Shanahan owns McVay. It's crazy to me. So I mean, for me, for what I got from this game, I don't know what the hell we're gonna get from Matthew Stafford this weekend, if they even make it past this weekend. Like he's been like pretty trash the last month. I mean, his interceptions have cost him the game, and they're up 17-0 and got tracked down and couldn't close. So I don't know what to make of that.
Yeah, they're gonna have to rectify that. They're gonna have to fix that issue because it's not going to be tolerated in the playoffs. And you got the biggest crybaby on your team in OBJ. He's not going to stand for that shit if he doesn't go his way.
He's a number 2 receiver now. He can't cry no more.
But yeah, man, the 49ers, they just, they know how to play football. They're like a team of maybe 1 or 2 superstars, a budding superstar, and they just play football well. And that's all they got to do.
Side note, you know how we were all year, we were shouting out Lamar Jackson for carrying us to this damn title. Debo freaking Samuel was a godsend to us.
The fact that he didn't go out is, except for those 2 weeks, and we still had play because our other players dropped off. Everyone dropped off.
Yep. Now Debo. When we look at Offensive Player of the Year and MVP and all that stuff, Debo Samuel needs to get some kind of votes for something. This year we had 1,405 receiving yards and then 365 rushing yards. Like, who does that as a receiver?
But not even fuck the rushing yards. I mean, Cordell Patterson's done shit like that, but look at the rushing touchdowns.
Yeah, the touchdowns as well. Yeah.
The rushing touchdowns are there. So I have respect for Debo because he could become a budding star now after this year. This definitely is breakout.
He's been on the path, but now I think
he hasn't been a guy that's good.
I think he's crossed over.
I think this is his big step now. Yeah, this is definitely it.
They need Brandon Ayuk to play better, but I think he's crossed over.
Yeah, Ayuk's he's still young. He's getting there though.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, that's all I got from these. Those are the two games I really wanted to pay attention because to me, those are the two games. I was shock factor, and the other one was like, damn, San Fran is really damn good.
Yeah, they are. They are. But excuse me. Let's break down the
Am I boring you, bro?
Nah, just a little tired. Let's preview the wild card round. So NFC, we got Philly and Tampa Bay. It's gonna be a tough game for y'all boys, but I think like we were just saying in the beginning of the show, Heineke was able to put up some numbers against them. We all know the Bucks got no secondary. Richard Sherman, I mean, he's an anomaly of himself, but he's on the IR, so he won't be present. That just also gives a veteran presence on the field. But I think Hurts is a better quarterback than Heineke. I think their offense is better than what Washington had out there before. I think the front for the Eagles are really good. I think they're playing with a chip on their shoulder. We did this to this boy one time. We'll do it to him again because some of those guys are still on the team. And I wouldn't call it a very close game. I wouldn't call it a landslide victory for the Bucks. I call it a very chippy game. Is the way I see it.
Well, how much you think we're losing by?
I'll say by 7. I give 7. I think the Eagles go out there and they throw it all out on the line. And I'd be surprised if they won, but I would pick the Bucks here definitely because they're literally activating everybody off IR for this. They're all going to be healthy.
I will admit, I'm saying that all week. I was like, damn it, Lenny, damn, Shaq, damn. Yeah, I know. All right, listen.
I'm rooting for you. I'm rooting for you. You know that.
I know, of course. No, listen. We kicked off this program about a year and change ago. Fair weather. It was. It's been as a fair weather Eagle fan, and it's always tough to just be confident in my team, right? And normally going into the playoffs lately, when we a couple years ago, year before that, even the Super Bowl year, I have I never have any confidence whatsoever in our football team going into the playoffs for different reasons. For some strange, I don't know if the stars, the moon, Mercury or Gatorade or whatever it is, something feels right about this game for me. And I think it has to do with it's not like Tom Brady's the GOAT. Don't get me wrong, okay? But there's a formula to beat Tom Brady, right? Have a front four that can get to the quarterback. We saw the Giants do it twice, 2 Super Bowls. We saw us do it, a Super Bowl. We see the Saints do it 4 times in the last year.
We saw Washington almost do it.
One to the point in which Tom Brady has 0 points. We saw Washington almost do it last year in the playoffs. So
beat him this year too.
Yeah, exactly. Even this year, they beat him. They almost beat him last year in Taylor Heineke's first start or whatever that was, and then they get him. Mm-hmm. They get him this year, and this is when the Bucks were pretty whole. It wasn't like they were banged up at that point. They just got. I mean, I think Gronk was hurt, but outside of that, they just got outclassed, right? I think the formula is there. I think we have outside on the receiving end, it's only Mike Evans, okay? We have a Pro Bowl corner in Darius Slay. When we played him a couple months ago, we held Mike Evans to 2 catches for 27 yards. I repeat, when we played him a couple months ago, Darius Slay had him all game, and we held Mike Evans 8 years in a row over 1,000 yards. To me, already a Hall of Fame receiver, the best receiver in Bucs history. We held him to 2 catches for 27 yards, okay? He already has a little bit of a hamstring injury, and I think they overplayed him in that Panthers game. I don't think he should have played that much in that Panthers game. I think Darius Slay is going to do a pretty good job at not shutting him down, but containing him, right? So then who do we look at? We got to worry about Gronk, and then we have to worry about playoff Lenny and Gio Bernard and all these running backs coming from because it's going to be quick passes, right? I think our defense has played pretty. That Cowboys game, withstanding because obviously we're playing with our backups. But outside of that, I think our defense has played pretty well. We have the front: Fletcher Cox, Barnett, Josh Sweat, Milton Williams, Hargraves. We have the front 4 that can get to him.
You ain't got to name the whole team. We get it.
I'm just saying we have the front for Ryan Kerrigan when he wants to play.
This is your moment.
We have the front four that can get to him. I just have to believe that we're going to do a good job just beating up Tom as much as we can. Even if it's a personal foul, I don't give a damn. If I'm the coach of the Eagles, take a personal foul in the first round, in the first quarter. I don't give a throw him to the ground and make him feel your presence. That's how I would coach. I would hit him hard, hit him often, probably just take the Saints playbook and see if we can make it a low-scoring game. If we can make it a low-scoring game, we have the number one rush offense in the league. We can make this a game. I think we can make this a game. I'm not saying we're gonna win, but I think we can make this. I think we can make this happen.
Yeah, it's gonna be a tough one for the Eagles. Like I said, I'm rooting for you, but it's in Tampa Bay. It's at home. I'm going with the Bucks on this one.
That's fine. Well. That's fine. I won't pick.
I want the upset.
I won't pick on this game because it's bad luck for me to pick. I never pick for playoff games if we're gonna win or lose. I just think we're gonna be able to play well. So, fly.
The next game though is probably gonna be the toughest game I say out there because the 49ers, we've been saying all year, are the sneakiest team in the NFL.
Don't want to play them in the first round.
Yeah, you do not want to play them in the first round, and everyone's riding this Dallas train. We need to find out if they really them boys or not. So this is going to be the game that tells us if they them boys or not. It's in Dallas too. San Fran versus Dallas. How you see it?
I don't give a flying. You know what? I'm picking San Fran to win the game. So both teams played in week 18, played their starters. One had something to play for, and one didn't. Right? The Cowboys feeling all high and molly and jolly and all that stuff because they beat up on Gardner Minshew and backup receivers, backup tackles, only offensive lineman that we started with Jason Kelce to keep his streak going of consecutive games started. We were there with them all the first half until they kind of just broke off, right? Which was expected. Their number one team is way better than our number two. Their number one team is better than our first team. I'll admit that. But the 49ers, on the other hand, the Rams were trying to win that. The Rams were trying so hard to win that game. And I think the Rams are better than the Cowboys, personally. I think they're a little bit more creative and all that stuff. And I think the 49ers, defensively, the 49ers have the number 3 defense. The 49ers have the number 3 defense. And the Cowboys, who have they really beat this year? They beat up on the NFC East. Cool, whatever. They beat the Chargers in week 2, and that was horrible clock management that almost cost them the game. They got really lucky with that one. Now, outside of that game, what good team have the Cowboys beat this year? I'm trying to remember. If you can enlighten me. Do you remember anybody that was like, oh wow, that was they beat the Falcons, they beat the Patriots in overtime in a rainy game? No. They beat the Patriots in an overtime game. Was that what it was? Yeah, it was the overtime game. I mean, outside of that, it's like I wasn't really impressed with any of their wins this year, and I don't think they have I think offensively they'll be able to keep up with the 49ers, but I don't know, man. I don't know if they're gonna be able to stop people.
I'm not picking a winner. All I'm saying is that the Achilles heel for Dallas is definitely the kicker. Zerline is not the Zerline.
Is he healthy?
I don't know, bro, but he misses a lot of field goals, and he misses a lot of wins. I would have cut him week 2. He'd have been done. I've been like, I saw this last year. You cost us games. We got to bring in another guy for competition or go another route.
Damn, Jerry Jones said he admits that he's exploring adding a replacement kicker to the roster. That's not good for Greg the Leg for confidence going into this game. And
Greg the Leg ain't Greg the Leg no more.
He's not Greg the Leg. He's Greg the Peg.
Greg Zipline is what he is, man.
Yeah,
fuck that. That guy used to be something, but like now he's subpar. But if it were me, I say it goes down to a field goal in this game because you're gonna have. Don't sleep on that Dallas defense, man. The Dallas defense is pretty freaking good.
All right,
You know,
look, their front is really good.
the front and the linebackers are
Yeah,
wild.
their front, yeah, that the front seven,
Diggs,
fantastic.
Diggs ain't shit. I'm sorry. I know he has
Listen,
all those picks and stuff, but he gets
I
flat.
would double move like Debo's a great route runner. I would double move him to death because he's going to bite on every double move because that's how he has all his picks because he's aggressive on it. Like he's always going to be over aggressive. That's how you get picks. How are you number one in picks but number one in yards against?
Yeah.
Like he's the only
His
receiver,
name,
only corner with over 1,000 yards given up in receiving.
yeah, it's like that's like Jameis stats right there. You
Exactly.
believe
That's 30-30 touchdown picks.
it?
That means the quarterback doesn't respect you. Like honestly, like they're gonna keep throwing to you. You're gonna get some picks, but I
That's
know I'm
what I
gonna get.
said. That's what I
Listen,
said about the secondary all the time. They're gonna
remember
pick on. They're
the
gonna get your
game.
pick.
The game I was just talking about, the Patriots game, right? He had a big pick six in that fourth quarter, right? The very next play, they went right back at him and he gave up a touchdown. The very next play after his pick six, the quarter, and that's Mac Jones, a rookie. If Mac Jones, a rookie, is not scared of you, you think Garoppolo's scared of you? I don't think so. So I don't know. It's going to be a good game. I think that might be the best game of the weekend, personally. It's going to be a very good
I,
game.
I say the same thing.
I
I
just
think it
hope the
will.
49ers pull it off because I don't want to. I can't. I don't want to deal with them. First round exit, and that's it. That's all I want.
Let's go next game. Last game in the NFC. Arizona at the Rams in LA.
That's actually a tough one, too.
That's
Believe
it.
it or
It's
not.
division game to game. We've been seeing a lot of divisional games too, man.
Yeah.
So
JJ Watt's back.
JJ Watt is back.
Remember earlier this year, you were like, "What's missing?" And then when JJ Watt went down, you were like, "Oh, JJ Watt."
No, we finally found out what it was with them.
But
We know what it is.
when they had JJ Watt, they were 7 or 8-0 or 7-0. The moment he went down, the wheels came off the wagon.
They came off a little later because we were still trying to figure it out, but they just can't capitalize in the red zone is a big thing. And then everything started to fall apart. DeAndre Hopkins got hurt. James Conner got COVID. All these things started to happen.
Apparently, Hopkins has been dealing with that injury for most of the season. So I think it was kind of like an eventual thing with him because there's no expectation for him to come back in this playoffs at all.
Yeah, he's available to, they said, but they're not expecting it. And even at that, I feel like that tarnishes their chances against the Rams for me, like not having that body there, because the running game is going to be tough to get through Aaron Donald in the playoffs. Yeah, you could run through him in the regular season, but playoff Aaron Donald's going to be a different beast, man.
Are we sure about that though?
I'm pretty sure, man.
Because remember the Rams and the Cardinals played a couple of weeks ago on Monday night. It was Monday Night Football. The Cardinals very easily should have won that game. But what did it come down to? That fourth quarter when they started unraveling, and then that last drive they just couldn't figure it out. But the Cardinals, to me, they outplayed the Rams in that game. And to me, the Rams are just so weird to just. They pay, they do all this whole thing with Jared Goff and Matt Stafford. To me, they had Jared Goff. The team looks exactly the same. Like nothing really changed. So
no, I think you get a better quarterback with Matthew Stafford than Jared Goff. I just think Matthew Stafford's been underperforming the last couple of weeks.
Well, you know what I can attribute it to though?
Robert Woods not being
Robert Woods.
Robert Woods is
he's that like people, analytic people always look at stats. I'm like, look, he's bigger than just stats. Like he picks up the block, he does this, he does that. Like that.
Robert Woods was Debo before Debo was Debo. Like he was doing the same thing that Debo and not getting the credit for it.
Yeah, not getting because he was dirty work. Like remember like Hines Ward. Hines Ward did all the dirty work for Pittsburgh. Like that was his job. I'm gonna do all the dirty work and everybody else I'm gonna get my catches. Everybody else gonna do what they gotta do. But if I gotta lead block, I'm gonna lead block. If I gotta go run this ball in, I'm gonna run the ball in. If I gotta do the screen, I'll do the screen. So
he's a good football player, but I guarantee Odell would have been a 3 there at that point if Robert Woods was healthy. He just got lucky that he tore his ACL the same day they signed him, so they probably knew that was coming as well.
I don't know if they knew that was coming, but I think had Robert Woods been healthy for this postseason, I think the Rams to me would be the overwhelming favorite because if OBJ is your third receiver, like that's dangerous.
Very
Van
dangerous.
Jefferson's your fourth receiver. That is very dangerous. But when OBJ can't do what Robert Woods was doing, and then Van Jefferson's trying to figure out, am I two, am I three, am I two, am I three? That's way
Be
too much to figure out on the fly.
be a deep threat and be an end zone shark. That's what Van Jefferson is. And OBJ, do what OBJ does, man. That's what OBJ needs to do on the field.
Yeah, but
Don't be
a
a
lot of these
prima donna.
picks,
Be the guy that we all know you for on the field, being a stud wide receiver.
a
That's
lot
what
of
he's
these
doing.
picks that Stafford has are balls that are forced to OBJ. That last pick of the game, ball that he underthrew OBJ on. So I
Yeah,
don't know.
I think they're gonna rectify and they're gonna fix those things, but I have the Rams winning that game. I just think, yeah, the Cardinals got there. They're just young, and I think Hopkins is the difference maker here. If you have Hopkins in the game, that takes away, uh, open up the field a lot more for what's his face, Kirk and Moore, and even Connor. Connor's a great route runner. So I and even Ertz gets open more now.
Shout out
So
to my boy Zach Ertz. I'm happy for him. I'm happy that he's in the playoffs still. Like,
I
it
just
would have been nice to
want,
have him against the Bucks this weekend. To be honest with you,
yeah, Goddard's good throughout
that is
that.
good. But as a second tight end, that would have been perfect.
Yeah. All right. Let's
But I'll pick the Rams to win that game only because they lost last week. I don't think McVay is losing twice in a row, especially to a division opponent. So I'll side with the Rams.
And the Super Bowl's in their backyard. So
yeah, and I think, but Matthew Stafford has to play better. I mean, just
he's the X factor. He's 100% the X factor of this game. Is how well does Matthew Stafford play?
I mean, because
Sonny Michel got knees. I don't know where he bought these knees from, but he got some knees.
You think Cam Akers is going to make it? Is going to do anything? Because he's available.
If it ain't broke, don't fix it, right?
I mean, but you have him. If he's on the roster, Cam Akers at the end of the day is better than Sonny Michel, better than Henderson.
It doesn't matter. If it ain't broke, don't fix it. Sonny Michel ran all over the Cardinals, and I think you got to be creative and find a way to use him. Got to be creative and find a way to use him. He shouldn't be your bell cow back. He shouldn't be your starting running back. He can catch the ball and run, so you got to put him in some like routes and put him in the slot, do some things with him, make it creative. That's all I'm saying.
All right, we're gonna see.
All right, let's go AFC. First game we got is Vegas versus Cincinnati. I feel like that's going to be a very meh game and another easy win for Cincinnati there because I'm just not high on.
Are we sure?
Are
we sure the second-year quarterback is just going to go out there and light it up?
I love swagger. I don't like Boy Scouts, okay? And Joey Burrow get the cat with the cigar in his mouth.
Listen, okay, go ahead. Let me hear your take. Let me hear your take on this one.
Okay, I think it's going to be a pretty solid game because I think both teams are just meh. I think Derek Carr is finally in the playoffs and he wants to prove why he's in the playoffs. But I think Joe Burrow is like the quarterback that we've been describing about Carson Wentz. He's calm and he's collective and he doesn't make bonehead moves. And he's going to find the open route. If anyone you can pick on secondary besides the Buccaneers is definitely going to be the Las Vegas Raiders because they don't have that great of a secondary back there. So I think, and it's in Cincinnati, man. Like Ohio is just like a crazy state, man. Like when something goes good in Ohio, if it's not like a meth rush or something like that, like you got to be happy for the state of Ohio.
They got shit else to do.
Exactly.
They watch a lot of football. And they, they go on roller coaster. I see the point.
Yeah, I just think Joe Burrow we need to appreciate Joe Burrow, and I didn't appreciate him this year because I thought Joe Burrow was just, it's going to take some time to blossom, but he's blossomed
I've always appreciated Joe Burrow, but you know who I did. But you know who I didn't appreciate? You know who I didn't appreciate? Derek Carr. Listen, I don't think people really understand like what the Raiders had to deal with this year. I don't know how the hell they're in the playoffs. I don't understand how they were able to just put all of this together and find a way to just make the playoffs. And, right now the Bengals are 5.5 point favorites. To me, if I'm a gambling man, I'm going to pick, because of that spread, I'd pick the Raiders. I think the Raiders will cover that. I think it's going to be a close game. I think it's going to be, you know how you like your field goal games. I think we have another field goal game happening. But I think in this instance, it's going to be Daniel Carlson kicking the field goal to win the game. Daniel Carlson, he was money Sunday night with all the pressure on him. I mean, you got to keep in mind the whole world is watching. That's the last game of
And
the
he got paid.
season.
And him and the punter got paid. Like
Exactly.
what was it? The game he kicked that game-winning field goal from
Yeah.
like 60 something. They got paid the next day. So
it's the last game of the season. Everyone's watching you. It's the greatest game of the year probably at this point. He nailed it, no doubt in his mind, right? And that to me is like the heartbeat of the Raiders this year. I think the Raiders got to give us one good playoff game before they crash and burn. Because I think if they win this game, they'll probably play like the Chiefs or the Titans. Shit, they might be able to beat the Titans. But anyway, I think the Raiders got one good game left to the side of them. Derek Carr is going to go out there and listen. Max Crosby and that offensive line that the Bengals have is still terrible. Joe Burrow's been sacked 51 times this year. Max Crosby is going to get after him, and Josh Jacobs looked really good this past weekend. Derek Carr, Darren Waller is healthy again. Hunter Renfrow, the most unsung hero that nobody wants to talk about. Brian Edwards, I think obviously we're comparing offenses. The Bengals obviously have a better offense, right? Clearly, of course. But Derek Carr is a veteran in this league, and Joe Burrow is a baby. And something tells me
swagger though, bro.
He's got the swag. Don't get me wrong, but he also hurt his knee the other day, and I'm a little concerned about that. T. Higgins apparently is on the injury report now. He has like a leg injury, and if that's the case, I'm doubling Jamar Chase and Tyler Boyd go beat me, right? You know what I'm saying? So I don't know how confident I am right now, but if the chips are put in front of me, I think the Raiders might pull this off. Just simply, the heart that they played with this year, like they should have blew out the Chargers, but they let them back into the game in the fourth quarter. All that aggressive fourth down. But I gotta say the Raiders are gonna find a way to just steal this one. It's gonna be weird, but the Bengals are the Bengals. They haven't won a playoff game since 1990. I don't know.
But I think it'll be a good game. Like everyone's expecting to be the most boringest game, but I think it's going to be a good matchup right there and then of two teams that first bid in the playoffs in a while.
Yeah.
And we're going to show you why we deserve to be here. So
I think it's a good wild card weekend in general, to be honest with you.
I'm fine with whatever win happens. I really am happy with whoever wins that game. New England versus Buffalo. In Buffalo. This
the rubber match.
Yeah, the rubber match, exactly. It's going to be another divisional game that we get to watch. I know a lot of people are talking about Jonathan Taylor and Nick Chubb and all these guys, but can we give some respect to Damian Harris? Damian Harris has been like a force to be reckoned with this year. And I feel that he doesn't get the credit he deserves because there's Ramondre Stevenson, there's Bolden. The Patriots are just more focused with Mac Jones and as a whole overview of things. But Damian Harris has been a beast this year, and he's had a better season than Josh Jacobs has. So, and that was a guy who was drafted before him. And Damian Harris started over him at Alabama too, on top of that. And they decided to say, we're going to take Jacobs over Harris. Yeah. Which is crazy to me. I never got that.
Well, but, I mean, Jacobs, if his injuries are kind of slowing him down a little bit. I think Jacobs is a fantastic player. He just got to be healthy.
They both were fantastic running backs. I didn't know why.
David Harris gets hurt a lot too. That's where Ramondre Stevenson's there.
Yeah, but what I'm saying is I don't know why Harris slipped to the 6th round or whatever it was, and it's like Chubb and Michelle. I thought Chubb was a way better back than Michelle was, but the Patriots saw something in Michelle they didn't see in Chubb. And what's panning out now? The Chubb train is definitely better than the Michelle train. So I don't know. All I'm saying is we got to give respect to Damian Harris. He ripped off a big run against Buffalo in the rubber match that one time. And I'm just I'm not a hater of Josh Allen. I'm just not sold on him. If this is going to be in my opinion, a team you got to beat right here, because I feel like they're the toughest team outside of Kansas City. In my books, that's the toughest team.
Of course.
So you gotta beat them. So yeah. I'm honestly picking New England though. I think Bill Belichick is back, and they don't have Jalen Mills, so that's going to suck, but they'll still be okay.
I really want to pick Buffalo to win this game. I think Buffalo is a better team. Like same thing with Georgia and Alabama. To me, it's the same thing. Alabama, Nick Saban. New England is Bill Belichick, right? Young quarterback Mac Jones, young quarterback Bryce Young. But on paper, the Bills should wipe clean the Patriots, right? However, this game, 30% chance of snow, and 14 degrees is the high of the day, and the game is being played at night. So it's going to be another cold, windy, snowy day. And who knows better how to play in these cold weather situations? The team that has done this plenty of times in the past, the Patriots. But the Bills have been running the ball finally lately. Singletary has finally been allowed to just go out there and run. If the Bills go out there and decide, look, we're going to run the football, the Bills have no reason not to win this game, especially with Josh. If you do, Josh Allen runs it himself. You got Zach Moss, you got Matt Breida, you got Singletary. You have better weapons than the Patriots have, and of course, Stephon Diggs and Knox, Gabriel. I think it's going to be cold, and my mind is telling me, yeah, of course, pick the Patriots, but with my heart, one of them is telling me to pick the Patriots, but if not now, then when? When are the Bills going to break through if they can't do it now? Because the Patriots are only going to get better.
Yeah, I'm just not sold on them. That's what
I don't know. To me, this is a coin flip.
It really is.
Man, the game was in Buffalo, which means nothing to Bill Belichick, but I'm a rock. It is a rookie quarterback going against Josh Allen. I'm a rock with the Bills to take this one home, but it's not like it's going to be easy, obviously. But and the Patriots haven't really played that well the last couple of weeks, and you can't go to Miami. You can't be losing to Miami like that. I'm sorry, that's just not supposed to happen.
All right, last game we got the TikTok Bowl, Pittsburgh versus KC.
This is the most boring game of the weekend. I'm sorry, bro. The Chiefs should beat them by 3 touchdowns. I mean, Ben Roethlisberger said it himself. Yeah, we're probably 20-point underdogs. 20-point underdogs, and we're probably going to lose. So let's go out there and have fun. The Chiefs will let you stay in the game with them. I mean, the Broncos should have beat them this past weekend. The Chiefs are not the same Chiefs of the past. But when they want to get crazy, they get crazy. Mike Tomlin, once again, I don't know what to say about this man. This man is an amazing football coach. How he got this team into the playoffs, like the Raiders and the Steelers, to me, have no business being in the playoffs this year. And here we are, right? So, I think the Chiefs are going to blow them out because Patrick Mahomes needs this for his confidence going forward. Like, we need to beat this team by a lot so I can get it going. But as long as Tyreek Hill is healthy, I know he was dealing with the heel injury last week. And Kelsey had a little hamstring issue, but as long as they're healthy, they should be fine. However, I am scared because Najee Harris might be able to just do his thing and run all over him.
What's the league in rushing? The rookie.
So, and I just watched Javonte Williams and Melvin Gordon run all over the Chiefs. So, if the Steelers are smart, I'm giving Najee Harris 30 carries and 10 catches. Like, if you can't stop him, you can't stop us. So I wouldn't sleep on the Steelers, but I don't really believe, like, they struggle so much with Baltimore, and to me the Chiefs are way better than that. I gotta rock with Patrick Mahomes on this one. I mean, it's the playoffs. It's time for him to turn it on.
Yeah, easy picking the Chiefs. Like, it's not that hard. Like, the only way Big Ben pulls this off is if Najee has like a career day. That's going to be it. But it should be an easy. It should be a really easy.
Big Ben got no arm left. Like, he got nothing left in that cannon. It's all Najee and 2 yards out. And Chase Claypool going to do what he does, because I don't know. I don't really trust the secondary that much for the Chiefs, but as long as Melvin Ingram and what's his other name? Frank Clark. Is that his name? Is that what I'm thinking about? As long as they're able to hold it down, they'll be fine. They'll be fine.
All right, let's go to the next topic. We got Black Monday just happened. A lot of carried off onto Tuesday as well.
Yep.
But head coaches are fired. We'll run down the list. Some we expected, some we are in shock of, and some we've just been waiting for this to happen quicker, and it finally happened another day. So Mike Zimmer's out of Minnesota, Matt Nagy's out of Chicago, Vic Fangio's out of Denver, Brian Flores is out of Miami, and Joe Judge is out of New York finally.
Damn.
So
I wanted Joe Judge to stay there forever. Him and what's the Mara? No, Gettleman.
He retired.
I wanted him to stay there forever. I was like, please don't ever leave. I love this.
It's the only shocker here to me is the Brian Flores thing, because like you said earlier, and we were going to touch on it here. He's got the Patriots number. He's got his boss's number. And he wins big games, and he did just win 8 straight games in a row. We can't take that from him.
It was 7.
Or 7, yeah. But
lost 7, won 7, lost 1, 1. Yeah.
Yeah, and it's unfortunate, but the guy can put together wins, and players like to play for him. Is the other
subpar quarterback play.
Subpar quarterback play. But I'm a big Tua fan. I believe in Tua. I believe in Brian Flores too. I think if he gets hired anywhere, if Brian Flores was assigned with one of these teams, or do you think he goes somewhere as a coordinator, or do you think he signs again as a head coach? And the best place for him to land.
That's a damn good head coach.
I agree.
Chicago needs to go get this man, but I think Chicago is looking for somebody to develop a quarterback. I don't think that's his nature. They need someone that's going to be able to.
I feel like Minnesota is the right spot for him if he wants to.
Honestly, yeah, because Kirk Cousins. I mean, look, we poo-poo on Kirk Cousins a lot. Kirk Cousins had a good year. Like, for what it's worth.
Numbers, though. He got numbers in a guaranteed contract.
He has a guaranteed contract. So you don't have to worry about developing a quarterback. You got the quarterback. You have your offense pretty much set. It's like, to me, what happened with Minnesota, which is why Zimmer's not there anymore. They're not coached properly. Like, they're not disciplined. They don't make the right calls at the end of the game. Like, just a lot of dumb stuff that they do during the week bleeds into the game on Sundays. So to me, Zimmer I don't think anyone really respected Zimmer like that. And I think he may have lost the locker room. I think Flores is the type of person that will demand that respect. Kirk will still be Kirk. You still got Thielen. You still got Justin Jefferson.
You got Cook.
You got Cook. You got Matt. You got Matt if Cook gets hurt.
Yeah, you got Irv Smith when he comes back healthy. They got a good defense.
Exactly. And the fact that you have a good defense, that's perfect, because that's his side. That's what Miami, for what it's worth, had a on and off year, but the consistent thing for the last 2 seasons with the Dolphins, the defense has been pretty damn good. They just couldn't. The quarterback play was kind of inconsistent, and there's not too many, Kenny, what's his name, Will Fuller. I don't know how many games you played this year. They were relying on a rookie receiver to carry him. That's a lot. And then no running game whatsoever. You got a running game. You got receivers. You got the quarterback. The defense is straight. They're a 500 team with Zimmer. Remember Jeff Fisher? It was always 7-9, 7-9, 7-9. They get McVay, and look at them. Like, their fortunes have changed. It might just take having somebody who has command of the locker room to just take it to the next level. So to me, Minnesota would be a fantastic place for him to be. I do like Chicago, because Chicago's that tough, hard nosed. He can be like the Mike Tomlin of Chicago. Somebody just hard nosed kind of coach, to me, which fits his kind of style a lot more. He is from Brooklyn, so New York. I pray he doesn't go to New York, but he is. That's where he's from. So that could be an option for him as well. But I don't think coordinator is absolutely not. He deserves to be a head coach in this coaching cycle already. He's already being interviewed by a lot of different teams. So I think it would be behoove of one of those teams to go ahead and I'll pick him up. I would think Minnesota, Chicago would be 2 good places for him. Or Denver, honestly.
I said the same thing about Denver too. It's just a big question there is retooling that defense up again, because I feel like there's some holes in it now that he would have to fill, and I think he could do that. I just feel like
that's his style. That's his style.
Yeah. But I feel like if you're not going after like developing a young quarterback, you're gonna have to do that with Denver. You're gonna have to develop a quarterback
You're
there.
not developed. No, Denver is a quarterback away. Somebody in this, some veteran in this cycle would, if they have enough common sense, aka Russell Wilson, uh, to me, if they could get Deshaun Watson, fantastic. But
I
to me,
agree,
if
but
I'm
I'm
Russell
saying
Wilson, that's the team I want to go to right now.
that's
Because if
not
they
a
have a quarterback,
that's not a
Brian
guarantee. But
Flores, who only has to worry about the defense.
I know what you're saying. I get it. The offense is tailor-made ready. They just need the quarterback and get someone you don't have to coach or develop. I get that. But I just feel like that's not going to be the landing. So I would like it. I just see the Vikings as the obvious choice for him. If he wants to win right now, I feel like you got all the pieces there, and you just need to put one or two things there, and the Vikings are competitors. I think what they, like you said, they didn't have the locker room. I think Zimmer's way too old to be coaching a young team like the Vikings. There's a lot of youth there, and I don't know. I'm not sold on Denver for him.
Yeah, I mean, I was looking at some, I like to look at rumors and stuff. I mean, I have for the Vikings, I've seen nothing with Flores.
Yeah,
Chicago has been a really popular one that I have.
Chicago's been the one that jumped on it real quick, and that would be great for him because they're a defense heavy ready team. It just sucks he would have to develop a quarterback. And does he have the same patience like he did with Tua?
But Justin Fields is way more talented than Tua.
We'll
to
see.
me, I know you're a Tua fan. I like Tua in college a lot. You know, I love my Alabama players, but to me, Justin Fields has a lot more ability.
I think Justin Fields got my respect because he took an ass beating on the field every day. So I have respect for him, but
yeah,
I'm taking Tua because that city shits on him, and then he wins 7 games straight for him and throws for like 400 yards 2 games back to back. So
did he?
He did.
Yeah.
He did.
I don't.
He needed a receiver. He needed a receiver, and you got him what he wanted, Jalen Waddle, and that's fine. But let me propose this question to you: do you think there are any other head coaches that the chopping block could come down on, either in the playoffs or that still haven't been fired yet?
I think our last coach has been fired already. I would love to fire Brandon Staley, but I think our last coach has already been fired.
I feel like they're like having a powwow.
They won't. They absolutely won't fire him. If this was a different team, yeah. But we're talking about the Chargers. The Chargers don't have the kind of history where they're just like, oh my God, this is so embarrassing. Like, and I do believe he directly is the reason why they're not in the playoffs. He's the only coach that has a superstar quarterback that couldn't make the playoffs. So for me, if I'm the GM,
second in the league in passing yards.
Yeah. So if I'm the GM, I'm like, bro, what are you doing? Like, what is all this for? Like, but you gotta understand, is that his call that they go this analytics route, or is that coming from up top? Like, is it his call that they're gonna go for it on 4th down all the time? Is it his call to go on 4th down and 2 in their own end zone, or is he like Kevin Cash and listens to a nerd in the locker room? So I don't know where that part lies, but I don't think they're gonna fire him though. If it was gonna happen, it would have already happened.
I think we, like you said, we just saw our last head coach fall. But
it took them long enough. They should have fired him weeks ago, bro. You saw that quarterback sneak shit they were trying to do with the Giants when they were playing the Washington. Bro, I'm like, bro, what do y'all like? I don't like. You know how we talk about Dan Campbell, right?
Mm-hmm.
The Lions are horrible, but Dan Campbell had them playing their ass off until the very last second of Week 18, right? And you could tell they want to play. They want to play for him, right? The Giants. But they've been getting ready for Cancun for a while now. 1, 2, 3 Cancun. Like it's who like, and you know how I am about Joe Judge. I've come on this show a few times to preach, and I listen to all these people telling me, "No, man, he's a good coach. He's
not a good coach."
I don't want to hear that. I'm tired. Like, and I'm happy. I don't ever wish somebody to lose their job, but bruh, like I never was a believer in him in the first place. So I'm proud of the Giants for making this move so they can move forward with their franchise, because I mean they're not we talked about New York sports the other day. They're not like a low level franchise. They're they've won like 4 championships or something like that. Like they're on the class of the Steelers, the 49ers, the Cowboys. They're a traditional powerhouse. So, to see him go through this kind of mess, I mean, I feel good as an Eagles fan, but it is embarrassing. It's very embarrassing. So we'll see if they figure it out this coaching cycle.
Yeah, the only one that I could see like going would be like the Seahawks finally throwing it in on Pete Carroll. That would really be it for me.
Yeah.
But I feel like there's too much legacy there. And I think Pete Carroll goes out on his own terms in my
What if
my
Russ
opinion.
says it's me or him? What would you do?
I would say that's true, but I don't see Russ as that type of guy. Russ even said he wants to come back. So and even Bobby Wagner said too.
Bro, Pete Carroll is holding.
We keep bashing it there, but I think Russ likes it there. I just think Russ wants them to get a better team around.
A better coach. He's holding him like. Call me crazy.
I don't want to dwell on it too long.
Call me crazy. Mike McCarthy, to me, was holding back Aaron Rodgers. Now that they got Matt LaFleur, I think we're seeing the best Aaron Rodgers that we deserve to see. You know what I mean? Like the man is getting older and getting better. To me, it's like, and it's sometimes it's that simple. Like you get a fresh young mind into that locker room. That like I think Kellen Moore did a lot for Dak Prescott. Completely just opened up everything for him because what was the last guy's name? That the coach that they have for all those years. Jason Garrett. I think he was holding back Dak Prescott. They get Kellen Moore as an offensive coordinator. Beautiful. It's like beautiful marriage. Matt LaFleur got Aaron Rodgers. Beautiful marriage. I think somebody needs to go get Russell Wilson. And if it's not going to be Pete Carroll, that he should.
I don't think so, but I'm telling you, they have a lot of respect for him there, and I think they're just going to let him go on his own terms. So next year might be his last one, or they put him in a GM role or something like that.
Try that. Just
I like Pete Carroll. I
love bro. You know how I feel about Pete Carroll. USC days, I love Pete Carroll, but he's 70. Okay.
Yeah, I think he does lost a step. I agree with you. He's lost a step, but people still like playing for him. That's the thing.
Well,
people still like Bobby Wagner. Bobby Wagner loves him, man. Wagner wants to.
The defensive guys love him, but what about the offensive guys?
Russ is just very wishy-washy, but I think Russ still wants to be there. But all right, let's transition. Let's go NBA now. So give the midseason report. First thing, Klay Thompson is back, and the NBA is losing its mind. I love seeing Klay Thompson back. Just making his first shot was just like, finally, we get to see it because I feel like all the Warriors players, I can't stand any of them, but Klay Thompson, for some reason, the only one that I can stand.
He's a good dude. He's a humble good dude.
They're all good dudes. They're all good dudes, but it's just like Klay Thompson is just something about him that you just can't hate.
He's down to earth. He's a superstar, but he does not act like a superstar.
Exactly.
Like Steph's a little cocky. Draymond's loud,
If Klay is just like, in my opinion, he's James Harden just taking his role with the Oklahoma City Thunder. That's what he is. Like if he left, he could be a giant star.
I don't know. I thought that for a second. I thought that, but way back when. But those two complement each other so well. That's why he's as good as he is. Because he doesn't have to do so much.
If he left and they formed a team around him and he was the focal point, I guarantee he would be a.
I don't think he could be a solo act. I think he needs.
I don't think he is.
I think
he's perfect. I think he knows his role. I'm saying if he did, I'm sure he could.
I don't know.
I think Klay is.
I think he's the perfect number two, like the best possible number two you can get. Like some people, like Steph Curry was brought onto this planet to be a number one guy. And Scottie Pippen was brought onto the planet to be a number two. Klay was brought onto the planet to be a number two. Like there's certain people who are just brought onto this planet to be the best possible Robin that you can be. Not everyone can be Batman. Steph, of course. And even when they got KD, it was still Steph that was kind of the Batman because he was like the mental leader, but KD just got buckets. So that was like having Batman and Superman, and Klay still stayed back as Robin. You know what I mean? So it's like, to me, he knows his role because he can do his role better than everybody else. I'm going to lock down your other team's best player when my knees were better, and I'm going to make 60 points off of 10 dribbles because Steph is doing all the running around, and I'm wide open in the corner. Of course, I'm gonna hit this wide open corner three because y'all are dumb as hell chasing Steph around all day long. And Draymond Green is a brilliant basketball player. He knows
Brilliant.
who's gonna be open.
Draymond, I feel like he never gets the credit he deserves. People are like, oh my God, he had like 2 points, but yeah, he also had 8 rebounds and 12 assists.
Yeah, it's like the Dennis Rodman effect.
Yeah, like he
Dennis
doesn't.
Rodman give you 18 rebounds and 2 points.
Draymond Green fills up the stat sheet for you in different ways, not just points.
Yeah,
like points are definitely going to win you, but also defense is going to win you as well. So
and basketball IQ,
exactly. Coachable players, and Draymond is coachable. Every year they're saying like they're going to trade him. They should just trade him. They should trade him.
Yeah,
that year they had a bad year. Nobody got moved. They kept.
I don't know how he survived all of these trades and cuts and all that stuff. I mean, they had. Remember they had what's his name? That plays in Minnesota now. Brooklyn, Golden State, Minnesota. What's his name? The point guard. The one that snitched on Nick Young.
Russell.
Yeah,
D'Angelo Russell.
I thought at that point, okay, there's going to be a whole overhaul of this team. Draymond's gone. They might get rid of Klay. It's going to be D'Angelo Russell and Steph Curry. I thought it was going to be some weird stuff happening. And I thought Draymond mentally was checked out. Like, he was starting to do podcasts and doing TV shows. And I'm like, he's done, bro. He got his money. He got his rings. He's good. But
they said, take it easy, bro. They said
he got revitalized. He's re-energized and he wants this. So, yeah, they're forced to be reckoned with having Klay back. Klay got to get his legs right again. But they're gonna be straight.
Yeah, they're fine. Who's not fine are the Lakers. I keep trying to make a push for them, but I just can't anymore. And I don't know what it is. And LeBron James,
you know what it is.
LeBron James is 2 in the league and scoring at 36 years old, 37 years old. And Russell Westbrook, come on, man. Like
that's you know what it is.
It's but I mean I blame AD too. I blame fucking AD too.
I actually blame AD more.
I do too because AD is always he's always hurting, man. And it hurts to see it because you slapped Dwight Howard in the face by putting AD on that list of top 75. And
I was going to tweet that 2 hours ago. I was like, bruh, because when Damian Lillard got hurt, I was like, damn, Damian Lillard and AD are in the top 75.
But Dame is never hurt. This is just crazy.
It just made because of that injury, it made me more pissed off that Dwight Howard wasn't on there. I'm like, bro, what is like Dwight Howard is? I don't know. Well, go ahead.
But yeah, getting back to like Russell Westbrook, the offense isn't tailored to him, and we always say that he picks up in the second half. Well, the second half's going to officially start now. We need to see it start to pick up because the league is starting to wrap up sooner than later. And I mean, we can praise him. He had a game without 1 turnover, whoop-de-doo. But I mean, they don't look like a cohesive team out there.
Not at all.
And I don't know what it is. Like they got to get younger.
You know what it is? It's Russell Westbrook turnovers.
It's so like hard to say it though, man. God.
Listen, you build your team. You got like. First of all, I just want to talk like LeBron James, bro. I've watched a lot of basketball my entire life. Okay, what this man is doing this year, I don't like haters. Okay, like and people hate on this man for absolutely no reason. I read comments on posts and it just pisses me off. I see stuff on Twitter and it pisses me off. I hear what people say in barbershops and locker rooms. Al Harrington talking about, he's just playing with the little bros. That's why he's doing good. Yeah. LeBron James is a dog. He's a monster. Okay, I don't care what nobody says. Okay, I don't know how many people 19 years into their professional career at the age of 37 could be second in the league in scoring, averaging over 50% from the field. His free throw percentage is almost like a career high for him right now. He's still giving you 7 rebounds and 6 assists. He's playing center, power forward, small forward, shooting guard, and point guard all in the same game. He's literally guarding your big man and bringing the ball back up the court. Still give you 30. Like he's had 35, 32, 31, 26, 43. Like He's giving you
just like we've been saying. The two best players in the league are still the two best players in the league.
Exactly. Nothing really changed. Like, and I love Giannis. I think Giannis had the crown for a quick second, but it's LeBron and KD. It's just we know that's what it is, right? But like, I don't, man. I don't know what more you want from this man. So he's not the problem, okay? AD, when they signed him and gave him all that money, he's 20, 27, 28. They're signing him to be the guy that carries his franchise for the next 7-8 years, right? You are giving the keys to the franchise. Last year, he came into the season out of shape, overweight. People made fun of him, Draymond Green. And then he was unable to finish the year. He came back, got hurt again, cost his team the first round. He comes back this year again, worse than last year. Can't shoot. He's shooting like 16% from three or something like that. His free throw percentage has dropped off. His defensive intensity has dropped off. His focus has dropped off. And now he's worse. The guy that you're paying all this money to, he's worse. Then you pick up a $44 million contract on Russell Westbrook, and he's leading the league in turnovers. He literally can't, like, and I'm a Russell Westbrook fan because of how he plays. But
he's just
you can't win with him. You can't win with him.
It's proven over and over and over and over again.
KD couldn't do it. Melo couldn't do it. Paul George couldn't do it. James Harden couldn't do it. Bradley Beal couldn't do it. You can't win with this man. And it's sad, but that's just the reality. You can't win with him.
We thought the one man that could do it, and he's not. And that's
if LeBron can't overcome that, I don't know what to tell you. LeBron overcame J.R. Smith. LeBron overcame. I mean, come on.
What sucks about this is I feel like the value for Russell Westbrook is going to drop out of this now.
Nobody wants him.
I know.
His contract is too high. Like, remember, nobody wanted Chris Paul, and now look, like, it's crazy. Remember that he got shipped to OKC, and then he got OKC to almost to the second round of the playoffs because his contract is too big. And then now he's in Phoenix, and now they have the best team in the NBA. Chris Paul is different, though. His contract was big, but as long as Chris Paul is healthy, he's the best pure point guard in the NBA, period. Russell Westbrook, on the other hand, is the worst pure point guard in the NBA because he's not a pure point guard. And I remember when he got to the NBA, they kept calling him point guard. I'm like, Russell Westbrook is not a point guard. He's a two guard trying to parade as a point guard. He can't. Yeah. He's a two guard that can't shoot. He can't make free throws anymore. He turns the ball over too much. It's just too much. And if they didn't have Malik Monk, this team would be, bottom of the league, bottom of the West, because Malik Monk at least is doing his part to help LeBron. Melo's doing here, Melo's going to give you.
Melo's doing his thing. There's nothing wrong with Melo.
No. There's nothing wrong with Melo, but he can only do something. He's not going to defend nobody. He can't defend nobody. And you have a team full of guys that can't really defend anymore. They screwed up with DeAndre Jordan. He can't be on the court. Dwight Howard, they don't know when to play him because they're starting LeBron at center. It's just the roster construction is a mess. And to me, AD has a lot to do with that because AD been saying from the jump he doesn't want to play the five. If AD decided to just man the hell up, play the five, the team will be fine because he's athletic enough to go guard whoever he needs to guard or stay in the post and block shots and get rebounds and then go on the other end and dominate whoever he's going against. But he's soft. Like he has two. I don't know, man. I don't know what to say about that team, man. But it's not looking good. It's not looking good.
It's not looking good, and I hope they pick up momentum going forward, man. But it's scary to look at.
The only momentum they can pick up is try to get a player from. Go get what's his name, Jeremy Grant or Miles Turner, or a couple of small. I heard they were interested in Trey Burke. I like that. I mean, not Trey Burke. What's our boy name from Toronto? Gary Trent Jr.
Oh, Gary Trent Jr.
I heard they were interested.
That's not part of the path, but
it's not part of the path. But I like the detour for it. I like the detour for it.
Dallas would be next on his stop. So
well, we'll see.
It's unfortunate, man, and I feel like Russ. In my opinion, I'm a huge Russell Westbrook fan too. I just don't think he's a coachable player. I think Russ just knows how to rust, and he'll tell you, well, do you have an MVP? Did you beat Oscar Robinson's triple-double record?
Did you average a triple double 3 or 4 years, and you're already
Yeah,
impressed?
exactly. He's going to tell you like, who are you to tell me to change my style of play? And it
Yeah.
takes a player. It takes a big player like a Carmelo Anthony to say you're coming off the bench to accept that role. Because a lot of people have been saying like Russ should be coming off the bench, and
That I would agree with. Like if they had a pure point guard that's gonna just control, like how Rondo was, but a little bit better than Rondo as far as like just skill wise, to just start the game off, right? And then you bring Russell Westbrook in with you have Westbrook and Melo with your twos, like in your second group. That's how you do it. That's how you okay. Now I see it, but he's playing he's played every game this season. He's playing like 40 minutes a night.
yeah,
That's a lot of turnovers and a lot of bad shots and shots going over the backboard and bricks, like just air balls and just boneheaded play.
yeah,
I don't know. It's tough to watch, honestly. It's as a
it
LeBron
is.
fan, it's tough to watch.
Yeah, as a LeBron and Melo fan, it is tough. But let's flip to another team, the part-time Nets with Kyrie Irving deciding to play part-time because he's in Kyrie land or whatever he wants to call it. Not getting vaccinated, can't travel with teams, or he can travel with the
You
team.
travel, but you can't play at home.
He can't play in New York stadiums or in Toronto.
But as far as New York stadiums, specifically Brooklyn, there's word on the street that it said they pay a fine every time he plays. They'll allow him to play. So in the next couple weeks, maybe he might be allowed to be a quote unquote full-time player. That's possible. That's coming. That might be coming down the pipe. But
how do you view the situation though? I'll let you
I don't
take
like.
this.
Listen, I don't look, man. I don't know. I wouldn't want a part-time player on my team. Like, bro, you getting paid how much money to play half the games? Shit. He getting paid 40 mil to play 40 games. That's crazy. So good for him to go get that check and do what you got to do. But I mean, at the end of the day, Kyrie Irving, I know he's he's a little all over the place, but he does love basketball. Like he's from what, New Jersey? Like he's from there. Like he's a basketball guy. So I'm pretty sure the last couple months have been very humbling for him. As just as far as just like, damn, like I'm letting my team down by not being able to be on the court. I know he stands for what he stands for, and honestly, you got to commend him for that. I know I gave Aaron Rodgers a lot of flack for his whole situation, but at the end of the day, he's a damn good football player, and you much rather have Aaron Rodgers on the field than Jordan Love. I'd much rather have Kyrie Irving on the court than not on the court. So
he's a bum. What Aaron Rodgers say about that reporter? He's a bum.
First of all, that reporter is a dumbass. I don't care. I'm happy. Like at the end of the day, I don't really care about what Aaron Rodgers believes in. I love Aaron Rodgers. Okay, and when he called this man a bum, I was like, yeah, call that man a damn bum. Call him a bum. But yeah, Kyrie. I mean, look, man, I'd much rather have him on the court, but I don't know what kind of chemistry they're gonna be able to create when he's in and out the lineup all the time. Like, we talk about AD in and out the lineup. At least he's hurt and you have to wait this month. Kyrie, you have a 5-game road trip. You see him every day. It's great. Then you have a 5-game homestand. You don't see him at all. It's like, damn, bro. When are you going to be allowed to play? So I think if they lift that ban and they have to pay that fine, well, whatever, pay that fine. Brooklyn got hella money. So I don't know if it's going to work long term. I don't really think Brooklyn is the best team in the East anymore. I think I think Miami fully healthy can compete with them. I think Milwaukee can still compete with them. I think Chicago, shit. I think Chicago, like LA screwed up, bro. They screwed up. They gave all this money to let Russell Westbrook come over there, and DeMar DeRozan was begging to come home, and they gave that money to Russell Westbrook. So Chicago, to me, they're right there too.
I said it all along. I was like, yo, Russell Westbrook looks enticing, but DeRozan, I think, is the better fit there as well because he doesn't have a big head, and he's played along a two. He's played along a Kyle Lowry.
Yeah.
He's done that. He gets that. So
and he wanted to be in LA. He knew LeBron was already there. He knew AD was there. He was happy to be number 3 for that. Can you imagine a healthy AD, DeMar DeRozan, LeBron James? You got the mid-range, check. You got the point guard, point forward, whatever, check. And then you got the big man that can do everything, check. That's how you do it.
You got Kobe, Shaq, Eddie Jones right there, all over
Eddie,
again.
they didn't win with Eddie.
I
It's
know,
like
but Eddie
Rick Fox combination of
Eddie Jones was pretty good. I know he didn't win with them, but
those
Eddie Jones,
those three should have won a championship. With Nick Van Exel, they should have won a championship.
should have won. But yeah, man, my thing with Kyrie is it'll always be my tip for Kyrie. Like we know he stands for something, and I'm proud of him for that. I just don't get your stands on what you stand for. And at the end of the day, like you're a basketball player. Like I'm not saying shut up and dribble. That's not me. I'm not telling you to do that, but
that's what I'm hearing.
I'm not. Nah, that's not me.
That's what I'm hearing, A-Rod.
It's like Aaron Rodgers, man. At the end of the day, Aaron Rodgers is a quarterback. Don't judge a man on his characteristics and judge him by the way he plays on the court. I'm not, or on the field. I'm not seeing Kyrie play on the court at all because he's standing for something that's a little bit selfish and putting it aside from the team. So by all means, do I want Kyrie to protest and do what he's doing? Yes, but it's affecting your team. And it's, are you going to play or are you not going to play? If you stand for this, will you fall for it too in the same way, is the kind of way I see it. So I think if this is what your calling is, you're going to have to do that because it's not allowing you to play basketball. And if you're going to come in and out, like we saw him take the random trips, random, PTO days off last year.
Yeah.
Like
that doesn't give him a good track record. That's the problem.
It doesn't. That's what I'm trying to get at. Like
kind of like with Antonio Brown, you know how we kind of judged him based on his past. Like no matter what he does now, his past is going to follow him everywhere he goes. Yeah. Kyrie's kind of on the same boat, but I think in this instance, it just happens to be unfortunate for him that he plays for the Brooklyn Nets. If he played for the Orlando Magic, this is not happening. Like none of this is happening. Like, this is a non-story, right? So,
exactly.
But so I mean,
but it's a bigger headline.
I mean, Jonathan Isaac is the same way. He's they're not. There's no story about Jonathan Isaac.
He's very weird. He's a very weird guy.
He's weird. I know, but with Kyrie, like, look, man. At the end of the day, I'd much rather him stand for what he stands for than lie. So, I mean, this is what he
when it affects your team, and when it affects your team and the play, and then they try and force you back in.
Yeah,
this was your team before. This was your team, and then they went and got you KD, and then they even put the cherry on top and got you James Harden now.
They didn't come together. They came together. They signed together. KD was just hurt that year when they signed him. He was in Boston. He was in Boston. He is the reason why KD is there. KD's look for everything I say about KD, he's like that. But KD's a fool for not staying in Golden State. KD would retire with 6 rings if he wanted to. If he stayed in Golden State, easy 6 rings, and he's into the tech world, and he's into all the other stuff, bro. San Francisco, the tech capital of the. Come on, man. KD should have stayed his ass in Golden State. He wouldn't have to deal with none of this. And he's getting Klay. He would have got Klay back this week too. Oh God, another championship. Another one.
Would have been, man. But all right, so. What's your biggest surprise and your biggest disappointment of the season?
I'll start off with my biggest.
I bet we have the same disappointment.
What's your biggest disappointment? Knicks fan, is that it? Oh, is it the Lakers?
No, it's the Lakers. The Knicks are going to get in the playoffs as the last seed. They're going to get in.
I don't know about that.
I think so.
The Lakers are actually not my biggest disappointment, specifically because they haven't really played whole all year. I have to give them that benefit of the doubt. Like, all right, maybe when I see this team whole, let me see them play together 10 games straight, and then I'll be able to base it off of that. At the end of the day, remember the Lakers back in 2004? They weren't whole when they went to the finals against the Pistons. Karl Malone missed time, Kobe missed time, Shaq missed time. Everybody got hurt, but they were able to finally get it together at the end and make it to the finals again. So
Karl Malone about 60 at that point in his
career. About 60, but so was LeBron, and so is Carmelo, and so is Trevor Ariza and Dwight, all of them. So to me, we'll see how this goes by All-Star break. I'll be able to kind of assess them more. But for me, my biggest disappointment would be Zion Williamson, because I'm a big Ja Morant fan since college. When that draft thing was happening, I was like, I'll take Ja over Zion, right? And I'm very disappointed because Zion was playing well last year to the point I'm like, man, he might be something. Because my ceiling for him was Blake Griffin. That was my ceiling. That was always my ceiling. He's going to be Blake Griffin. And last year he showed me a little more. All right, maybe he might be better than Blake Griffin. We did like apologies. I'm like, all right. He was one of my people I apologized to, but he over the summer he gained more weight. He can't, he's not rehabbing properly. He keeps when you're big.
There's Mountain Dew commercials.
Yeah, he's drinking Mountain Dew. Tells you everything you need to know. When you're that big and at that only 6'6" frame, it's not. You gotta be smart with your body. And now he's not training with the team. He's in Portland, like rehab. Like I don't want him to become Greg Oden and all this stuff. I really want him to have a good career because he's a good kid.
I do too.
And especially seeing he played AAU with John Morant, and John Morant is taking over the league right before our eyes. So I am very disappointed in just kind of the trajectory of how his career is going right now. Because to me, he's way better than that. So that's my biggest disappointment, Zion.
All right, your biggest
surprise?
Surprise, yeah.
Chicago Bulls.
DeMar DeRozan is mine. DeMar DeRozan is mine.
I mean, I knew Chicago was going to be decent. I think everyone kind of had them like a 5th seed kind of team. But no, they to me, they are legit. They are scary.
I've been telling you along is that Vucevic is like just underrated. I know
that was a trade. DeRozan was a good trade, but Vucevic, that was the perfect.
He's good. Perfect. He's just a good player, man.
Very good player.
He's just a very he can score you 20 a game and get you 10 rebounds and 4 or 5 assists. He's in blocks. He gonna stretch the floor.
And he gonna stretch the floor. He gonna get you 12 rebounds and stretch the floor and hit threes. That's how you do it.
Yeah,
I wanted to put Memphis as my biggest surprise as well. Kind of like Zion versus John. Like John, my biggest surprise, and Zion, my biggest disappointment. I'll give it to Chicago for now. Memphis, I love what Memphis is doing though, for sure. I think they're a veteran away. Like how Chris Paul went to Phoenix and changed their fortress forever. They get a veteran like that. Like that's why they were like I think it was Key Glock was like F Andre Iguodala. That's exactly what they would have needed. Andre Iguodala, had he accepted that being in Memphis, ding ding ding, they would have clicked perfectly because they just need an old man in the locker room, not Steven Adams. They need like a grown ass old man. Like, all right, bro, this is how you do it. This is how you beat this team. But they beating good teams. So those are my two big surprises.
They shouldn't have got rid of Valanciunas. I think he's another underrated big.
But they traded Steven Adams for Valanciunas.
I know.
Steven Adams to me is better suited for them. That's why they're playing so well this year.
I guess
they knew what they were doing.
Says who?
What? Where's Valanciunas now? OKC. What's OKC doing?
I'm just kidding. That's the Nike campaign with John Morant. Says who?
Says who? Oh, you're right. You saw that block he had against LA?
Oh, it was very LeBron-esque up there, or Michael Jordan-esque to Ron Mercer, man.
Bro, he's 6'1", 6'2". That's scary. That's Derrick Rose athleticism.
Yeah, I'm proud with the strides that Ja's making. I just hope they just don't let him go too crazy because I don't want to Russell Westbrook this shit.
I'm scared. I'm scared Derrick Rose than Russell Westbrook because Russell Westbrook has always been healthy. Derrick Rose had the same explosiveness.
The contortionist, though. He was
exactly. Yeah, that's what I'm more scared of.
He's more just like, I'm a yam on you, but I'm probably not gonna make this though. But
he's trying to yam on everybody. I don't care if he's 7'6".
Yeah, he's trying to yam on you, and it'll still make the highlights as an almost top 10 play, but it just like
it looks good.
Oh yeah,
the missed dunk look good.
It does. All right, so let's wrap up the show. Our fun segment today, we're gonna do start, bench, cut, and I'm gonna ask you. Okay. I'm gonna ask you these because I want to see. I did these earlier today. I was like, this seems kind of interesting.
Okay.
I want to see if we have the same ideas on it. We're gonna start NBA.
Okay.
We're gonna go guard first. Steph Curry, Allen Iverson, Kyrie Irving. You got to start, bench, cut.
Easy. Starting Allen Iverson, benching Steph Curry, cutting Kyrie.
Okay. I had it opposite. I had Steph starting, Allen on the bench, and Kyrie.
Kyrie. Come on, man. You know it's me,
bro. I know. I was curious to see what you would say.
One thing I'm gonna be is I'm gonna ride or die for my guys, and I'm biased, so you know what it is, but that's easy for me.
All right, forward. This one's kind of tough. I had to sit there a little bit and kind of tinker with this one.
All right.
Julius Irving, Scottie Pippen, Kawhi Leonard.
Why you giving me Sixers, bro? Come on, man. It's that murkies the water a little bit.
I feel like Julius is out of your price range for a little bit.
Julius Irving to me is the most underrated basketball player in NBA history. He doesn't. When people talk top 10, they don't mention Julius Irving. I think he deserves to be there because people don't pay attention to all the stuff he did in the ABA. I'm starting Julius Irving. I don't really care. I'm starting Julius. I gotta bench Scotty and I gotta let Kawhi go because Kawhi can't stay healthy. I can't trust his knees. I know Scotty if Scotty's my number 2, I know Scotty gonna guard the best player on the other team, kind of like Klay. He gonna guard Magic Johnson. Magic Johnson gave Jordan buckets in game 1. They switched Scotty into Magic, shut him down, won the series. Scotty gonna be your best defender. He gonna pass the ball. He gonna steal the ball. He gonna block shots. Kawhi, he might miss the whole season because his knee hurt. He might be on load management. I'm going Dr. J, Scotty, and we're gonna let Kawhi go.
Okay, sounds like.
But
that's like some inner hate right there because of that shot he made.
However, I will say, all things considered, if Kawhi Leonard didn't have all these knee injuries, I would take Kawhi over Scotty. Okay. But in a grand scheme of things, I got to take injury into. I mean, I've seen him miss whole seasons. So, and Scotty, Scotty did his thing as the best Robin ever. So I gotta go Dr. J, Scotty, and let Kawhi go.
All right, center position.
Wait, what was yours?
I had the same thing.
Really?
I had the same thing.
You started Dr. J? I
started Dr. J because I feel like he's one of those players that was always in people's top 10, and then as we got older, he phased out.
He started to phase out.
People forgot about him.
Yeah, I don't want that to happen to Dr. J. Dr. J is that dude.
We said Kawhi was the best two-way player, and then we watched Dame Lillard send him home. So, I can't. So I love Kawhi, and like you said, he's missed a season. So, let's go center. Hakeem, David Robinson, Patrick Ewing.
You're making this easy for me. You pick 2 Sixers and then a Nigerian. I'm starting Hakeem Olajuwon. Now David and Patrick. I gotta bench David Robinson and cut Patrick Ewing. And I'm sorry, Knick fan. I'm sorry.
I did the same thing, to be honest with you.
Only reason why I would not say that Patrick Ewing is overrated by any means. But I think Hakeem Olajuwon, when we talk about the greatest centers of all time, if you told me Hakeem, Shaq, or Kareem, I would not get mad at you at all. Either one of those 3 to me are the greatest centers of all time.
I'm the same way.
And then Wilt, to me, obviously it's before our time, and the people that he was playing against are a lot smaller than him. So I don't know how I can. Wilt is like a magical creature to me. So I don't know how to really rank Wilt. But David Robinson and Patrick Ewing are in the same era, as well as Hakeem Olajuwon. To me, Hakeem was the best in that era, and then David Robinson was right after him. And Patrick kind of, when you really needed Patrick, Patrick missed layup. He missed that one layup. I was like, oh my God, Patrick, what are you doing? He got hurt when he shouldn't have got hurt.
I think you just got to respect David Robinson because he was on so many shitty Spurs teams, and then they finally drafted Tim Duncan.
Title instantly. I mean, a man had a quadruple double, and the man scored 70 in a game. Tell me what center is not named Will Chamberlain scoring 70 in the game. Okay, it's just that's hard to do. So, and a quadruple double.
And he was drafted first overall out of Navy at that.
And he had to do his duties first before him. David is I wouldn't say he's underrated, but he's underappreciated.
I agree.
For sure.
All right, and then the last.
Sorry, Pat.
I'm fine with that. I love Patrick Ewing, but he had to go on mine too. Yeah. And then this is the last one we did for fun. We did it on a rapper base because we like to say we are hip hop historians as well.
Oh, listen, I'm starting a hip hop page soon, so we might call it fair weather hip hop. I don't know. We'll see.
We'll think of something, but in case you haven't noticed, all of our titles to our episodes are hip hop related. So
yeah, man. I don't know if y'all be paying attention.
Yeah, take note. So I stay with the Wu-Tang Clan on this. I said Method Man, Ghostface Killer Raekwon. Let's see. This is how I know if we're truly in sync.
I'm going Meth as my start. I
Uh,
love Method Man. Like MBTHOD, man. Hey, you. But as a close second for me is Raekwon. And then I got Ghost getting cut.
I'll let Swift this 1 and 2. The chef goes first for me.
Chef, yeah, I love Raekwon. Don't get me wrong, but Method
Chef,
Man,
Method Man, and then Mr. See Me Now You Don't is gone for me. I would have to cut Ghostface, even though his bars are definitely on some level.
No, but no, Raekwon is stupid. Okay, Raekwon is stupid. But Ice Cream, who Ice Cream. So that was Raekwon and Meth were killing it, and then when you put Meth on the what? Oh my god.
Yeah, on the what? But
With
only built with
Biggie?
Cuban Links is like probably one of my favorite
That's
albums.
one of the greatest albums of all time, right? But that's one album. Meth is timeless for me. He can this song, that song, this song. It just keeps going.
Method Man is more marketable too with movies.
That too. Even both. I mean, oh man, MBTHOD, man. Hey, get off my. You don't know me.
I just feel like if you listen to some of like the stuff that Raekwon is on, it's just
no. Raekwon is stupid. I said it's a close second. I just have a preference for Method Man. That's all.
Looking at that marvelous shit right there for you, man.
I have a preference for Method Man, but Raekwon is a close second as far as his skill level. Of course, he's right there, but it's just as a preference. I like Meth a little bit more.
Game for that.
That's just give me one more start bench cut for hip hop. I like that. Give me one more.
You want that one
for hip hop? Give me one more.
What if we did Southern rappers?
Ooh, that's tough for me. But all right, go ahead.
All right, what if we did Ludacris, T.I., Young Jeezy?
Ooh, Young Jeezy start for sure. Easy start. T.I. benching Luda. I'm cutting. Luda to me is so inspirational to Atlanta, but T.I. bar for bar would destroy Ludacris. And then Jeezy to me, Jeezy raised me at one point in my life. So
yeah,
that was easy for me.
I would do the same thing. Yeah. And Ludacris is really from Chicago anyway, so
I'll
think of a better one next time. I like this bench start cut one we're doing right now.
Yeah. I like the southern one. I like that southern one.
That one on the rip real quick because I just remember we were in high school. Those were like the big three right there.
No, Jeezy changed my life, bro. Jeezy changed my life. One of the first referrals I ever got was because I wore a Trap or Die snowman shirt to school. Snowman shirt. It was 3 snowmen, one with a pool stick, one with like a hockey thingy, and one with like whatever he had, and they had bulletproof vest on. And Mr. What's his name? Mr. Household, whatever his name was, like, nah. Come on. I was like, bro, what? It's just a shirt. It's just a shirt.
We're not having that, buddy. You're out of here. All right. Well, that's the show this week. Thank you for listening. You can find us on Twitter at fair_weather_pod, Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, the Fair Weather Podcast. You can find us there. And then wherever you subscribe to the audio, whether it's Spotify, Apple Podcasts, wherever, we're there as well. Just search for the Fair Weather Podcast.
Fly, Eagles, fly, just so y'all know. If we win this weekend, I'm going to be acting a fool all week. And when I come back on the show next week, I'm going to be acting a major fool, just so y'all know.
And just know for the month of February, I'll be wearing all Philadelphia sports team stuff. So all of February. So I'll be ready for that. Don't worry.
Can't wait. I'm not wearing no Jet shit. Ha! Peace.